Hi everyone, my name is Susanna Watson and I'm the Youth Minister here at Lakeshore Baptist Church. I just wanted to come and offer you a few words of encouragement as you head into this weekend. So this week I've been thinking a lot about the story of Joseph in Genesis chapter 39. And I encourage you to read Joseph's story because he really has a remarkable testimony, because Joseph's story is a reminder to keep our eyes fixed on Jesus, regardless of our circumstances, particularly those circumstances that are caused by the mistreatment of others towards us. So I'm pretty fortunate that I have a lot of people around me that love and care for me. I'm very blessed in that way. But I'd be lying to you if I told you that I've never been mistreated. I have absolutely been mistreated. I'm guessing you have as well because, hey, we live in a sinful world. And in a sinful world, that means there's a lot of selfishness. And so I know that we've all experienced mistreatment, but how do we respond to that as Christ followers? See, our culture would tell us, don't get mad, get even, or some variation of that. But that is so opposite of what God's word encourages us to do. As Christ followers, we are called to be countercultural. And we see that in Joseph's story in Genesis 39. See, Joseph was being tempted to sleep with another man's wife. And Joseph chose to not do that because he knew it would dishonor God. But if that was the end of the story, then we would say, oh, that Joseph, he sure is a good old guy. But that's not the end of the story. You see, what ends up happening is Joseph did the right thing, but he was still betrayed. And Potiphar's wife lied, which cost Joseph. And it ends up with him being in prison for something he did not do. Perhaps you're not in a circumstance at all like that, but you can relate because you're in a situation where this isn't your fault, but you're experiencing the consequences. See, Joseph was unquestionably mistreated. And he could have grumbled, complained, felt sorry for himself, or he could choose to make the best out of a bad situation. You know, he could continue to, focus on all of the mistreatment, or he could focus on what could God do out of this. See, certainly Potiphar's wife, she had caused problems for Joseph. But you know what it didn't do? It didn't stop God's plan from working to help Joseph to prosper. Because as we continue reading in Joseph's story, we find out that not only is he released from prison, but he ends up becoming the leader of the land where he was imprisoned. He prospers in a situation where it should have seemed hopeless. That's a God of redemption at work right there. Proverbs 3:5-6 says, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him, and he will make your path straight. You've probably heard that verse before. Maybe you've seen it on a piece of artwork or seen it at Hobby Lobby. I don't know. But maybe you've not ever really thought about what that means for you and for me. I'm going to tell you, no matter what mistreatment you or I may experience in this life, that will never stop God from working in our lives. I don't know what mistreatment you may be experiencing in your life or have experienced previously that's really left its mark on you. I don't know. Perhaps it's something at work, it's something at school, maybe it's even something at home. But I will tell you this. God will make your path straight if you simply trust him. Trust him. He is the most trustworthy one to ever be. Continue to do what you know to be the next right thing. God will reward your faithfulness. Because there's never been a time that God's plans didn't work out. God's plans always come to fruition. There is absolutely nothing, not a thing, that is impossible for our Almighty Father. So I want to close with a challenge, and it's a two-part challenge. Number one, I would encourage you to pray for help in fixing your eyes on Jesus and not your circumstances. And the second part of that challenge is to really take a moment of self-reflection. Examine your heart to see is there anything that is holding you back from fully trusting and serving God due to a pain that you have experienced or are experiencing right now. And if there is something that's in that way, I would encourage you to begin taking steps towards forgiveness. Start breaking down those walls of bitterness so that you can break through those walls and find yourself walking straight in the center of the will of God. And it is there that we find true